grommet all the way down here. It's like a little... Pull the slack through. And then we're gonna take our gauge, run it through the back. And then you can see it has little tabs on the side as well. Hi, I'm Kruddykarl. You probably know me from my YouTube channel, Kruddykarl. We are this close to okay, so P3 Gauges is a company based out of Ohio. They make boost gauges, and not just only boost gauges, but they make gauges that are able to read boost, AFR, fuel temp, ethanol content. You can do 0 to 60 times. You can do oil temps. You can do a whole slew of things just from this one gauge. And the great thing about their gauges is they're OEM style. So the thing is instead of having a huge gauge pod or gauges that are just all over your car or anything like that, you can have a clean setup that sits in your vent while you can still have cold air. One of the reasons why I decided to pair up with P3 Gauges is because it's a simple, clean, and effective way that I can have all the information that I want without having to cluster up a whole bunch of stuff, having a gauge pod or putting a gauge pod anywhere else, or kind of changing anything or making it look out of place. The thing is, this looks like it belongs there, and I really like the idea of it, and so I reached out to them, and so P3 Gauges is sponsoring this video today. So the thing is, P3 Gauge is a company based out of Ohio. It's 4 guys. I know one guy, his name is Jake. Jake, I love you. And that's pretty much it. They're a bunch of guys, and all these gauges are made by hand, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to install this into your OEM vent so that you don't have to do anything special. We're also gonna hook up analog boost. I'm gonna show you guys how to install this, how to put it in the vent, and I'm gonna show you guys how to hook up the analog boost gauge. So, or set up the analog boost setup so that you can read boost on this from the car without having anything else. So, let's get into it. All right, so you have your vent and you have your gauge. So we got it all set up right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set this aside and we're looking at the vent. What you wanna do is you have all these clips around the vent. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take this off all the way around the vent. Oh my Lanta. And that. So you have the outer ring, set that aside. And then you have this ring right here. We're gonna take this off. Second ring. Then what you have now is your vent. Now what you wanna do is open it up, pull it apart. Easy as that. Then what you're gonna do is so you have top vent, bottom vent. Now the bottom vent is actually where the gauge is actually gonna sit, just like that in there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip this bad boy over. And so what we're gonna do is to take the bottom piece out, we're gonna remove this little bridge like right here. And what this little bridge does is it moves it back and forth. That's how they're both connected, but we're not gonna need that anymore. So what we're gonna need to do is remove this bridge from the top. So we got that off. And then what you can do is you can squeeze this. It's actually a pretty flexible housing. And then you squeeze it, and then there are 2 little tabs in there. These little on the side that'll come out. So now you just have the top vent, and it's free moving because there's no bridge attached to it, and we don't need the bridge attached to it anymore. Then we're gonna take our gauge, take our wire, run it through the back, and then you can see it has little tabs on the side as well to fit this little hole. So again, we're gonna use that same trick. Sometimes if you squeeze it, the top vent will come out or it'll move or anything like that. So that's fine. You can throw it back in there. And we're just gonna take this, squeeze it, and we're gonna get the vent, the actual gauge face to fit in the old holes where the bottom vent fit. And you just want to look, make sure that you're in there properly. So it's in there, but like I said, so this vent you can see right here is flat, and then this one's not. So what we can do is we can kind of take something and push up against it. Normally you'd use pliers or something like that. I just forgot mine in the garage. So we're just gonna use this. We're just gonna push it back in. So now it doesn't move. The reason why we bent it back in is just so that it doesn't shake side to side, or that we don't have any movement or anything like that. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna reassemble everything. And once you just make sure that everything is in here properly, all your tabs are pressed in nice and tight, then you can assemble everything. I'm just gonna make sure that this bad boy is bent in there as much as possible, just so that I don't have any movement in here. And that's just so that I want to be sure that there's not going to be any movement, or it's not going to shake or anything like that when I'm driving. And I like that. So it's sitting pretty. So you got your vent, and this is where it's going to fit. And so the thing is, if you look, there's a little bit of a gap right here, and that's where the wire is going to feed down into. But an easier way to guide the wire down is to take off this side panel right here. So we're going to take off the side panel, and all you're going to do is pull up on it. All these panels always feel like you're gonna break them when you're pulling up on them, but you just gotta pull up, kind of pull out, just like that. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to take this, stick the wire in here, and we're gonna feed it down, feed it down. And so then now we can grab it. And so we're gonna just let that hang there for a little bit. And then we're gonna take this, pull all the slack through. And then we're gonna take our gauge. And now if we just stick it in here, just like that. And then we can adjust it. And so now our gauge is sitting in there. Our wire is set properly, and we can, like I said, we can turn it to adjust it, but right now that's good where it sits. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the wire down a little bit more, because what we're doing is we're trying to get the wire all the way down here, because it's going to plug into the OBD2. This is where things kind of get interesting, because there's no like set way to wire this or which way to lay the wire. It's really up to you. And so what we can do is what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take my wire and I'm gonna try and feed it back that way, because the OBD2 port is over here. But we need to figure out a way. I think I'm gonna double sticky my the control box up under here somewhere, just so that it's kind of hidden. So I'll probably do it on like the back side of up here. So let's feed the wire through. Okay, so I was able to get the wire through. Just kind of had to stick my hand up under here. We're gonna unplug this for now. Then we're gonna grab this box. It slides right into here. And then all you would do is you just take it and it just plugs right into your OBD2 port, just like that. And then, like I was saying, the tricky part now is just kind of wire management now. So the thing is, like me, I think I'm just gonna leave these already bunched up the way they are. I'll probably take this wire, zip tie it up, you know, leave a little bit of slack, just a tiny bit, and then I will take it and then double sticky it up here. And then what I'll have to do is then I'll run the hose for this, and I'll show you guys that. We're gonna run the hose actually to this hose right here, which comes off the back of the manifold. And so the thing is, anytime you're trying to pull boost or get your boost numbers, it's always after the manifold. And so we have a line that comes off right here, and it comes down right around here, and then it goes all the way around, and it comes up to your brake booster. So what we're gonna do is P3 actually provided us with a T and extra hose. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this right here, right about here, tee it off, and then run a line behind here. And then there's a little grommet all the way down here. It's like a little rubber hose, a little rubber spot. We're gonna cut a hole into that, and we're gonna run the tube through there, and then it's gonna connect up, and then we'll be able to read boost. So I have it ran. So I have it ran through there. If this will focus. Hopefully you can see that, but it's ran through there, right there. And so all we have to do now is go to the other side and pull it through. And then that little spot is right there. I don't know how well I can see that, but I know I can pull the hose. And see, there it is. And all that does is that just connects to this. I'm gonna cut off a little bit of hose that I have from when I did my boost lines up there. I'm just gonna use that to connect this. Or if I can, whenever I go to the store, if I find some more like tiny hose, we'll use that and connect these two. And then that's pretty much it. All right, so let me show you guys what I did. So, went to the store, switched out the plastic tee, got a metal tee. I just need to get 2 clamps for right here and here. I'll throw a clamp on this side right now. And then I ran the hose all the way around through here, through that little grommet, come around to the car, and you don't even see it. Everything's hidden pretty well, actually. So what I did is I zip tied the actual boost sensor right here to the top of the actual box. But for now, everything else is set up. All I'm gonna do is just trim up all these zip ties, and then that's pretty much it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so now we are in Samantha with the P3 gauge. And let me tell you something, after installing this and having this in the car for a while now, I can tell you that I absolutely love this thing. Now, not only is it a boost gauge, but what we can go through is we can cycle through here. We can see pressures, we can see ethanol, we can see my coolant temp right now. So we're sitting at 208 degrees. We can see my wheel speed or anything like that. We're not going anywhere right now. So of course it's just gonna say 0. Then we go over here, we can see my battery voltage. Look at that, healthy battery. Then what we can do is we can also see our RPMs right now. So obviously we're not moving, it's just idling. So right now we're sitting at around 1,000, somewhere around there. Then if we come over here, keep going, we can see my oil temps. And the thing is right now we're sitting at 190, and we can go back to that when I'm driving, and we can see how it gets a little bit lower since I have that oil cooler. Then we can keep going, and then we can say intake temperatures right now. Then we can see a whole bunch of other varieties and things that you probably just wouldn't expect to see in a, in a gauge or anything like that. You can also see throttle response and things like that. So that's another great thing. AFRs, which is super duper important. So right now we're sitting at a nice AFR, and the thing is you'll be able to see the difference in that. When I'm driving, you'll be able to see, I can see, and you'll be able to see as well, what my AFRs are, and then we can also do a 0 to 60 timer. The great thing about this gauge also is I have it wired up to my ethanol sensor from Delicious Tuning, and it'll also tell me exactly how much E85 is running through my car right now, and it'll tell you at all times. The other great thing about it is so if we hold both these buttons, right, and we go to configure, it'll also tell you if you have any check engine lights. And the great thing about it is if you go to P3's website, here, I'll actually pull it up for you guys. So we can go to their website right here, right, and we scroll down, and this will tell you what all the codes mean. Any code that pops up, any engine light or anything like that, it will tell you what all the codes mean. So not only will you be able to see the code, clear the code, you'll actually be able to go to their website, look it up, and see exactly what the code means. Not only is it live, there's no lagging in between or anything like that. You'll be able to see exactly what's going on with all your temps, all your gauges and stuff like that. So then as we get into it a little bit more, and it'll tell you exactly what's going on with the gauge, with your car, and so that you can know what exactly is going on. So the thing is, you can see we were doing about 9 PSI, and so then if we downshift, it tells you exactly what's going on. Then we can cycle through, we can go through it on here, and then we can see the coolant temp, 192. We can keep cycling. Battery voltage still looking good. And the thing is about it is this isn't something that's specific to the 86 FRS BRZ. They have it for a plethora of cars. It's all right here. I don't need to go any further for it. Don't have to look all the way over there. Don't have to look over here. It's right here. And so that's what I really like about it. It's super nice, super clean setup, and I haven't had any problems with it. So I think you need a P3 gauge in your life.